Welcome, everybody. Happy last Monday of 2025, y'all. We're going to vibe code our way into victory starting today. Hey, Milla, good to see you again, my friends. Let me go ahead and turn up the volume here. Let me approve all of my note takers here. We have about half humans in here and half AI note takers. I guess that's the new ratio that we're seeing, and we'll probably see it go up in 2026. Hey, Harry. Hey, Marla.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Oh, we got a legend in the house. Mario's here today. Oh, I'm honored. Thank
What's up,
you.
girl?
What's going on? I see Bo in here. Silviana, Victoria, welcome. It's good to see everybody. Feel free to drop a hello where you're tuning into in the chat. Hey, Christine. Hey, Bev. Good to see you, my friends. And happy end of the year 2025. Some of you might just have seen that I was going live on my Facebook just now. I'm doing more live streams in 2026. And so I've just been practicing that skill set. I know Mario will appreciate it. A stream deck over here. Yes, look, he's so proud of me. So I'm getting my life together so that we can just have some really amazing content, some really amazing trainings, and do a lot of stuff in real time. So I just want to get a feel for everybody that's here in the room. Let me make sure that I got all of the people that are in the waiting room coming on in as well. But I know some of you are returning. You're building apps. Marla, she's been making immense progress each week, even every day that we've talked. I'm seeing some new enhancements to the apps, but where are my newbies? Where are the virgins in the house? People that are just starting to build your vibe code apps. Because I know last week we had a couple. Okay, Milla, but Milla, you're an OG when it comes to the marketing, though. You're learning vibe coding, but you got some other skill sets, and that's why you're gonna be dangerous once you really nail down some of these fundamentals. Victoria, we got a newbie over here. Okay, awesome. We have Sasha from Fort Worth. Oh no, hiding with COVID-19 today. Oh, well, I'm sending you healing prayers and well wishes, Bev. Hey, Georgetta. Nice. Christine Nubish, new here. Sasha. Okay, awesome. I know Evan, he's not a newbie. He put down an awesome app at Level Up in Dallas this year. Awesome. Okay. Hey, Nisi. Hey. All right. So today, what I want to talk about are defining the scope of an app because I got my Lovable. It's like their version of Wrapped back. They just released it this morning. I had early access as an ambassador, and it kind of shows you like how many lines of code. Oh, hey, Carrie, what's up, beautiful? Nice to see you. And so I've built like over 100 apps, websites, landing pages, and they're in a variety of industries solving a variety of problems. Some, that I come from a background in the music industry, so I have a music generation app that I created with a friend, and now we're kind of co-founders on that. I have like the Vibe Code Components app. I'm just launched Vibe Code Kitchen, so there's a lot of different scopes. And today, I want to help you identify what that unique problem is that you are uniquely designed to solve based off of your experience, based off of your strengths, based off of your passions, and how to turn that into a vibe code app. So let me go ahead and pull up our prompt maker. And this is a VCI, a vibe code incubator resource. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. And I'm also going to share my screen so that you can see as we go through this. Okay. So for anybody that's new and is interested for creating an app for the very first time, my partner Nuno, some of y'all know Nuno from High Level. He's an amazing instructor, and he created this prompt maker. So when we were doing our sessions in Lisbon for Web Summit, this is the prompt maker that people were using to create the base prompt for their Lovable app. Now here, once you scroll down after the header foot section here, you see these $1 million simple ideas. And these are 5 categories that you can really hone in on to identify a profitable micro SaaS. Now, when I'm saying micro SaaS, I'm talking about solving one problem. See, as you can see the headline here, each of these apps solves one problem brilliantly. That's the secret. If you want to decrease the time from building to monetization, That means that you have to decrease the scope and figure out what the MVP, the minimum viable product is that you can create that's going to give immediate value to the user without the bells and whistles. I know when we discover vibe coding, it's like, oh my God, I could do so many things. And I've always had this idea and I can just type it in and see it happen. Yes, it is very exciting, but sometimes we end up getting outside of the scope, and then an hour later it's like, where did all my credits go? And now I have to upgrade and buy more, and now I'm discovering a bug, and now I don't launch my app that day. All right, so this is the mental hump that we need to overcome for 2026. And next week we're going to be doing a challenge. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit, and the goal is to get it out of your head into a vibe code app like Lovable. You can use whatever one you want, but I'm obviously biased to Lovable. And then and we're going to turn that into a functional business in 2026. Okay, so here we see calculators, trackers, decision makers, generators, and timers. These are kind of like five overarching categories that you can look at and pick out an app. And let me actually show you a real example plus some specific examples on how these categories can be even further niched down to solve that specific problem. Also here in our Vibe Code Incubator, feel free if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want me to review, to go over, you need any resources, feel free to go ahead and drop those into the chat. And I keep my eye on the chat, especially because I got this dual screen now, which is pretty cool. So feel free to drop that in the chat and I'll be able to see while I pull this up. And this is going to be a list of the prompts, or not prompts necessarily, but the ideas that you can then turn into prompts and then go from prompts to product. And I'm going to show you one example. And actually, this is going to be my third time doing a live demo. For some reason, it always fails on live demos, and I just keep doing it even if it might fail because that's the only way you get better. So hopefully, I know Mario, you seen it when we were doing our live session with Nuno. It was like, I swear it generates here, but hey, that's actually part of the vibe when it comes to vibe coding. All right, so let me pull up this. So again, I went to prompt.vcinc.ai and you'll see the overarching categories. And then what I did was like, calculators, I want to get more specific with calculators and come up with some calculator ideas. So here are examples of 10 niched down calculator ideas. So for one, and I think that Evan had a similar app. So if I'm on track, feel free to drop that app and we can take a look at it, Evan. So one of them is going to be a social media ROI calculator. Now, one thing that you want to think about are, what are the services that you're selling? Is anybody here selling like social media services, like with high level, like social planner or packages or content? Because this could be a great one for you. And feel free to drop your like kind of your pre-existing niches, and we can actually work these ideas to make it specific for you. But it could be a very simple app where a user enters like, this is how much I spend on ads. This is like my average rate of followers. If they know their click-through rates, some of this you could actually probably put in their link and in a more advanced version, have it calculate some of these metrics for them, and then help them calculate the ROI of their social content. So again, it's being able to take an input, do something. Now that we have the power of AI, creating some type of, like, maybe it's a report or a dashboard, and then giving them a result. That's all you need. That right there can provide immense value. And then it can also give insight on why they might need your services. Right now, you got their email. Now you can bring them into your funnels, your pipelines, all of your pre existing things that you've built, and probably in high level, because I know we have a big overlap in the high level community here. And now it just plugs in on the front end. So this is the kind of way that I want you to think about it. Marla said vacation rental owners, social media management websites that work like an employee. Right. So if you can now create a front end, a calculator, but market it specifically to vacation rental owners. So when they land on your app, they know that it's for them. And they're more likely to convert because all of the language there is speaking and it's to that specific audience, right? An email list value calculator, right? So maybe you're selling um, an email sequence generator that creates copy. That's also an app that you could build. Or maybe you're selling the email marketing aspect of high level. And there's somebody out there that has a list, and then you want to be able to show them easily and quickly and in a visually stunning way how much their email list is worth. So it could be like, here's my list size, the number of contacts they have, the open rate, the average offer price, and it can calculate that for them. And then it'd be like, hey, do you know that you're missing money on the table? Here's my upsell. Here's a $7 checklist. Here's a $27 training. Here's my community, right? So everything we still want to think about in terms of a value ladder. Nisi said booking and tour assistant for musicians. Oh, you're going to want to talk to Mo about also some of the tour assistants where she's building out kind of her own version of like a Kickstarter, like fundraising campaign specifically for musicians. So that's a great one. Christine Best said missed bookings, right? So you could create a missed bookings, like the missed callback feature, a simple landing page, your brand, your language, with speaking specifically to your target audience, even if it's something that's like small business owners, and say how much money are you leaving on the table from not having a system in place to capture the leads from missed bookings or missed calls. Okay. Lead magnet profit calculator. That's kind of like a specific version of that. AI automation time saver calculator. So entering tasks. So the whole idea with the here you see these are very simple apps. The user they're solving one specific problem, which is, hey, I don't have a way to gauge my metrics, or I I think the pain point is that I'm leaving potential opportunities, revenue on the table, and I don't have a way of actually seeing what that is. And you're able to solve that in one simple app. So I'm going to show you one example of I think it was number 8, the what should I charge pricing calculator. And what it does is that it helps people figure out what they should charge. And this is based off of a conversation with my friend Sarah, because we were just talking about, like, especially in the high level world, there's such a range of what high level includes and what you can sell it for. And so I built Chargewell. All right. So it's chargewell.app. And the idea here is that you can just start calculating and tell about a project. So I could say, I'm building a custom GPT for a nonprofit to help with writing their emails for internal communication so they all have a consistent brand voice. And as you can see here, it does the voice typing. So that's a component I'll show you in a second. And it actually parsed all of my voice note into the questions. So some of them are pre-filled. It didn't get how many hours it would take or what my experience level is. So I just come in, it knows that small business, nonprofit, and I can put in even my location, and then it will actually calculate how you charge. And then I also will plug in vibe code components. If you haven't seen, this was one of the apps that I've created. This has probably been my most profitable app so far. And it has some of these top prompts. So you just now how you saw I did the voice typing to fill out that text box instead of traditional typing. That is what I anticipate to seeing that blow up in 2026 of especially with tools like Whisperflow, as it becomes more essential for people to do voice first onboarding. Having a voice typing component in your form can make it just a way better user experience. And you can actually just copy this prompt into a lovable app or whatever vibe code platform you're using, and it'll actually help you create that voice typing component to add to all your forms. The same thing here with this PWA prompt, and it's kind of like a playground where you can just go in and you can click around on stuff and you can just test it and see what different panels do, what modals do, what they're called. And so that's vibe code incubator. So back here to Chargewell, chargewell.app. It took my voice note, it parsed it and pre-filled out the answers that it had, and then it created this what I'd like to think of as visually stunning report. So it has a recommended price, and this is based off of my location, it's based off of my experience, and then it'll actually create this stack and the package options for me. So here it has a technical setup, the brand voice clone. So we have like a downsell and an upsell. So this is a one way that you can start to hone in on if you have a client and you're figuring out what you should charge, you're not sure what a baseline, you can come here and it'll actually even show you a potential stack. So if you're talking with that client and you're trying to give them a quote and tell them all the things that it includes, then having the stack. And this was I don't know, maybe Mario remembers because we actually met at ClickFunnels Live earlier this year, and there was a speaker that was just talking about the importance of the stack. And so that was one of the big takeaways that I got from ClickFunnels Live was just learning to really emphasize the stack. And so that's why in the report that I created, it would have the stack. Now let's go to pricing strategy. Well, I'm logged in right now, but if I wasn't, this would be locked and you would have to put in your email to unlock the rest of your report. Do we understand what just happened there? All right. We're talking about the components of an MVP. Simple app. There's an input. The user puts in the input. AI, your app does something to modify their data and then gives them an output, a result, right? AI is all about, like trigger and action, input, output. But in order to monetize, we have to figure out what point in the pipeline we're going to collect their information and then what is the upsell that we're going to sell, right? So right now they can come on, they can get this completely for free. They can figure out how much they should charge. They can get an idea for the packages that they can include, and they can get this stack for free. If they click off here, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have their information. But if they find it valuable and they want to unlock the rest of the report, then they give me their email. Now, why is having an email so powerful? I know we got some marketers in here, so go ahead and put it in the chat. Why do we want that email? What do we do once we get that email? And in the meantime, I'm going to read some of these comments. Mila said, I built a calculator for missed revenue on my website that I'm also vibe coding. Lovable did fabulous on it. Yeah, Lovable is really good at making calculators. And I feel like we got to expand our mind on what we think of as a calculator because I thought this was a pretty cool one, but it's not necessarily what you think of when you think of the calculator connotation. Evan, I'm gonna pull this up too. I mean, I still got people trickling in. What's up, Addie? What's up, everybody coming on in? Christine said pricing calculators. So many entrepreneurs have a hard time with pricing. So there we go. I'm honing in on one pain point. That's it. Entrepreneurs who have a hard time figuring out what to charge. Chargewell.app. Okay. Is one thing. Pretty simple input, output. Okay. Jojo said, is this a PWA or online? Looks like a great app. I actually have not done the PWA install prompt on Chargewell.app yet. So it's primarily been just an online app. But there's a couple things I still need to change, like the favicon, taking out the lovable badge. I'll get to that. But right now it's just like, can I get an a quote? Are the quotes consistent? And what is my strategy for monetization? That's more important for me right now than making it the PWA accessible. Christine went on my question about email lead capture, upsell and nurture them for future sales or training. All right. And that is where we end up connecting our Lovable app to our high level backend. Now you can use whatever you want. I'm not going to be like a snob about it, but my tech stack trilogy is high level, lovable, and N8N. Those are like really the only three that I use to create everything end to end. Lovable builds the front end, including the forms. High level or N8N can supercharge a workflow for things that are kind of beyond what you would want to do in Lovable, burning through credits. And high level helps you package it all and sell it. Mario, it looks like you might have wanted to say something. Do you have a comment? I saw you like leaning in towards the mic.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just typing a voice note to somebody.
Oh, okay, bet. Cool. All right. Mila said marketing back to them and building your list. Exactly. Now, I know you can add an API for a platform like Resend to your Lovable account if you just have like a one-off email. But if I was to do this Chargewell and build this beautiful calculator app and then just send them one email with their report, I'm missing out on the big part of the monetization on the back end, on the ability to wait a couple days and then send another, wait a couple days, hey, did you like it, wait a couple days, make an offer, right? That's where the monetization is actually going to happen. And so that's why we want to make sure that we have a system in place, and that part is not optional when it comes to monetizing apps. And that's where high level comes in. Yes, Kelly, build the list, build that list. All right. SPF Media, I'm brand new and know nothing, Jon Snow. Well, no worries, because over here, we're gonna break it down from the beginning. I'm gonna put if you missed it, I showed you the 5 app categories in VC Inc. I'm sorry, in prompt. It's a sub domain, prompt.vcinc.ai. Oh, what's up, Demarcus? Okay, good to see you. Demarcus was on my live on Facebook earlier today. Sasha said their email becomes a renewable asset. Okay, so that's why we want to actually build up our list. Now, let me see if let me show you the next part. So, just to recap on how to monetize an app. Step one, I went to the $1 million simple ideas at prompt.vc.ai. I decided I was going to build a calculator app. In the Vibe Code Challenge, you will get these lists of more specific types of calculator apps. I picked one from the list, the What Should I Charge pricing calculator. I put this in to build a base prompt, and then I built a value ladder. My value ladder is that you're able to get the app. You can go to chargewell.app. You can easily have a seamless onboarding experience with a voice note and get a visually stunning report on what you should charge. That comes with some assets that entrepreneurs find really valuable when pitching to potential clients. That they can unlock the entire report with their email. So now that's a lead. But now how do I take them from lead to sell? What is the upsell with an app like this? Well, if I'm targeting entrepreneurs that aren't sure what they charge, I'm solving a big problem for them by helping them hone in on what they should charge and giving them kind of the articulation, like here's things that you might want to look out for that are specific to this niche or this type of project. But what are they going to sell, or what's going to now make it easier for them? Well, I decided, and what am I doing? Oh, it's like I decided to test out this pricing model where now it can take their quote and actually create this proposal for them automatically. So they can enter their logo, they can pick out a brand color that will change dynamically over here on this PDF. They can put in their name, their email, the project title. They can add a payment link, which is a button, so that, and then they can actually just download this as a PDF and send it to the client. And the reason that this works is because if they're using high level, if they're using HubSpot or anything, it's a PDF, right? So it's not like I'm trying to integrate with their current tech stack. It's like, hey, you have the goods. Now you can take it and sell it. This is going to cut down your time in so many hours so that you can automatically start selling this. And if they close on a almost $2,000 deal, even if they close half of that, it makes this $5 PDF so worth it, right? So it's like right now I'm testing out pricing models. We have $5 one-time charge, but when it comes to vibe coded apps and just the kind of where the business world is at in general, like in Silicon Valley, it's about the MRR, the monthly recurring revenue, right? That's how we kind of start to build up the passive income and predictable income. What can I expect every single month, right? And so here I just put down like a $9 package. And so this will give you unlimited PDFs. You can download as many as you need. Subscribe now. And I'm able to afford to do that because generating one of these PDFs is minuscule. It's like less than a cent. When you are, if you have an app where you are generating videos, a lot of pictures or music, there are hard costs associated with that. And actually, Aaron, are you here, Aaron? I think I saw your name, but this is an app that I created with my friend Aaron. And actually, to demonstrate it, I'm gonna need to go grab a beat off of YouTube. And there's two kind of levels to this app. One is not very expensive, and one is very expensive. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that because I want people to kind of d- beware on like the actual costs and profits. Because right now, 100 credits gets you $25 gets you 100 lovable credits. That's more than enough to build out like any of the apps that we have in these ideas. You could definitely do that for less than 100 credits and have plenty of credits left over. Okay. But here I can take any beat from YouTube. This is specifically for musicians, and it's going to do an AI analysis seconds. It tells me what key, the BPM, the genre, the energy, the production complexity, the instruments, the sounds, the recommended vocal style. So they're getting all of this for free. No email capture yet, right? But then if they want to actually generate the beat and hear what it sounds like, then they would click generate beat. Now, on average, I did the calculations, and you kind of have to reverse engineer it because all of this stuff is done in credits now. So you get like how many credits for how much and then do the math. And I found out that it costs on average about 82 cents to create a beat. Here, I can do unlimited PDFs for $9 a month because they basically cost nothing. Here, if I did that same business model, not only would I not make money, but I could be in some very serious debt. So that's one thing we want to consider if you have some type of music or video generation app where there's a significantly greater cost. And so we allow people because they need to see and feel the product first, the quality of the beat. We'll give that first beat for free if they make an account. So customer acquisition costs maybe like 82 cents, and we'll just consider that part of the marketing because a lot of times these apps you can't put things behind a paywall at first. You notice here on chargewell.app, you can create your voice note and like put in your answers to the questions without having to make an account and get an instant result. That's really important going into 2026 in the era where everybody is going to be building vibe code apps, wanting to get traffic to their apps. Whoever has the nicest page that can get the quickest result and make it super simple, it's going to be a winning formula. All right? So that's in it. So here, and then it has created a generated beat. So again, there's a hard cost associated with that. So we had to be really careful in the way that we decided to choose that model. All right, let me take a look and see. Oh, Carrie, well done. Like, thank you, Carrie. I'm so glad you're here today. DeMarcus said we could definitely use this in our media production. Well, there you go. And there we have it. So here, the business model for BeatForge Studio is really to grow the list. This would be a great app for influencer marketing. Basically, like my strong suit in the music industry means that I have access to, some like influencers, some predominant producers, some predominant artists that could use this app and like make a song. And then that would be great marketing. I could consider that like this would be a good influencer marketing type of play or a white label type of play, right? So if I could white label any of these apps where it's like, hey, I'm going to build you a version, a business in a box of Chargewell, and now you're a coach teaching entrepreneurs on how to charge, and you could basically modify this with your specific pricing formula. And I just, white labeled this entire Chargewell system. Or I just do this direct to consumer. I'm selling the PDFs, I'm selling the monthly memberships, and then I have my own kind of like affiliate play or something that leads to high ticket. But it's all going to be coming down to the way that I nurture that list and why the email. Yeah. Kiri said, could to do both, to be honest. Exactly. There's like some different kind of technical things that you'd have to be considerate of to do each play. That's what we're going to be covering in more trainings like this. But yes, absolutely, Carrie. Great point. DeMarcus, SPF Media said it will help with our clients who we manage social media accounts for that are monetized. There you go. Exactly. So I'm glad I'm seeing some people hone in on some different ideas on how they could take these 5 kind of micro categories or micro SaaS app ideas, these general categories, how we take one going from a calculator to now the specific type of calculator to now a full-blown app experience for the user. Where do we capture the lead and where do we make the sale? What are we giving for free where we know that we may or may not get their email, but we can give it to them so that it just shows a value. What's that little bit that they would want to exchange their email for? And then what is the thing that now once we have their email, we can market to them to that they would need in their next step? We solved one problem, it now created a new problem. Now we can sell the solution to that new problem. That's that's nothing new. We people that are into funnels, we understand kind of this process, but this is how you apply that kind of marketing structure, the offer ladder, all of that to vibe coding. All right. So that we're not just building apps that are just really fun, but there's not a way to monetize. Although I did just build one of those, so I can't even knock it. But sometimes you just want to have fun. Like I know somebody like Mario is also like, oh, I mean, this is just like one of my side projects, and it'll be in the basement. It'd be like, oh, yeah, I had to take a break from my work to go do my other work, my fun work, but we're just working. So sometimes, yeah, it gets addicting. Evan said, oh no, we didn't get to look at Evan's app. I want to pull it up real quick. Evan, I believe, built this, and he's probably worked on it since. at the Level Up Summit in Dallas, Texas. It was awesome this year. Nuno, Yvonne, and Mario and I, we got to throw a vibe code session, and Evan created this. So it's digital marketing. Get your 2 minute growth snapshot. Find out what to fix first so you get more calls and bookings, no marketing jargon. So this is an example of a micro-SaaS, a lead magnet app. So you can go ahead and answer these 10 questions. Do you have a Google business profile? And let's say like no, because that's something you could sell in high level, right? How many Google reviews do you have? Oh, maybe Evan is selling a Google reviews management system, right? What's your score? So these are all questions that are going to help Evan figure out how he could pitch his services. I see what's going on here, Evan. Does your site load fast on a phone and make it easy to call or book? Maybe you're not sure. That could be a blind spot that now he could swoop in and be like, oh, well, I know how to help fix that for you. Does your site clearly list the main services? Yes. Does it somebody reply? Sometimes. Do they get a text? I think Christine was talking about that, the missed connections, misleads, reminders. So he's trying to basically he put together these 10 questions to assess kind of the healthiness of these aspects of a person's business. And it says, and now he gets the growth score. So again, I as a user came on, I had some input in this example, it was 10 questions. Now Evan took those inputs and then created an output. The output here is a growth score and a blueprint. So next best step, full setup. Do this first and turn on instant replies, add online booking, and then here comes his upsell. Herd connection automations you'll get. Hey, you get my snapshot. You work with me in high level, then here's the automations that you can get. And I would actually add some more agentic, like an agent that can take the user's input and really like be even more personal when it comes to the automations you'll get. Kind of like what Chargewell does, right? It's like taking somebody's problem and then basing it on like a pricing list. So here it would be like, "Hey, I saw that you have a lot of reviews, but you're at like 3 stars. Let me help you with that with my or maybe that like the miscalled text back. Like basically tying your solution to their specific problem so that it feels more human like versus like, oh, okay, now you did that. Here's just the general. Okay. So now it's fix this for me, which is where I think he has his booking calendar, right? So it's like he wants them to hop on a call and then Evan will do his selling and his closing on the call. Or email me my 30-day growth plan. And now there we have the lead capture. All right. So simple app, solving one problem, input, output, ability to capture a lead, ability to make a sale with an upsell. A very basic value ladder. All right. Is that making sense to everybody? The formula of like this MVP of minimum viable product and how we're not creating the next high level or DoorDash or something. Okay, we're just creating apps in these simple categories, right? Trackers, decision makers, generators, timers, and I can go in and I'll just show you a couple more apps that I've built. Okay, Aaron, what's going on, Aaron? Christine, got it. Bev said yes. I saw Harry saying yes. Keeping it to MVP is so difficult at times. Don't you know it? That's why I'm focused so much on it, especially in January of 2026, because hope scoping out that MVP, that minimum viable product, and actually sticking to it end to end is going to be the way that you go from building to revenue the fastest. When we're not like sticking to MVP and we like start building all the bells and whistles, stuff is more likely to break. It gets away from like the original kind of concept of what we were trying to do in the first place. And then you're like spending credits, your time is lapsing, and you're not actually getting the traction. And then maybe you're building an app that people don't actually want or are going to use. You're not getting that real world feedback. Part of the beauty of vibe coding is that you don't have to sit there and go to a developer every time you want to change something. You can literally make an app, launch it the next day. Oh shit, you got double emails, or the email didn't go out, or it didn't generate here. And then you can fix those things in real time. And the best part about it is usually your traffic is low enough when you first launch. It's not like you're going to get 10,000 people on your app in a day and it's going to break. You're going to get a couple people on, you're going to get real user feedback and then be able to iterate so that you make your app stronger for when you have more traffic. And then you give yourself the lead time and generate enough revenue to get your subscriptions to pay for themselves. So now you're not losing money and you're getting paid to build the foundation. And then when we get MRR, monthly recurring revenue, it becomes cumulative. Okay. So there we go. Um, Christine said it's so easy to listen to new updates, but then things don't get done and then you're in stuck mode. Exactly. 2026 is about getting y'all out of stuck mode and getting you into launch mode. And this is something like some of y'all in here know I've gone through like a lot of like trauma and I ended up going to therapy and all of the trauma that I thought I was going to go to my therapist about was overshadowed by one thing that we worked on for a year. And it was like, how much, it was the anxiety that I would feel when somebody asked me, how much do you charge? Not understanding my worth, not understanding how to pitch myself, constantly undervaluing myself, not knowing how to position. And I don't know, it really beat me up. And then I think that that played into me not launching and me building all the time and showing all the cool things that I could build, but never having the confidence enough to actually put it out there and put it out there imperfectly and be willing to do a live demo that fails. But when I go to I went to Microsoft AI Day at Moscone Center in San Francisco, and they tried to do a live voice AI demonstration on stage in front of like 1,000 people. Microsoft, and their demo failed. All right, Elon Musk on stage where he's like, oh, the Cybertruck is bulletproof, and then he breaks the glass of the window. The demo freaking failed. I was like, okay, if Microsoft and Tesla can do it, then you know what? I'm just gonna go up there and fail, and I'm gonna fail fast and hard, so then I can get that out the way and then build the best fucking app you ever seen. Okay, so there you go. Yes, Carla, you're speaking my language. Carrie Adiger, I appreciate you. And Demarcus said I have GHL, go high level, Notion, and currently using Google Drive to store accessible client footage, but currently not sure how to make these systems work together for an optimal experience for ourselves and our clients. Well, what I would tell anybody like you, Demarcus, or anybody in Demarcus's position is what is the customer experience? Now, part of the reason why these apps have been profitable is because I thought about how it's going to be from end to end, right? What do you use GHL for? What are you using Notion for? And what are you using Google Drive for? Now, Google Drive can be great when you're just starting out. There's an API where you can use it to store, but you're probably going to want to actually have it on a server like an Amazon, like a S3 bucket. There's these different programs that both all Microsoft, Google, and Amazon have. I think Amazon's the easiest to get into, but I basically applied as a startup and they gave me like $2,000 of free credits. It's like Amazon Activate program or Google Cloud Startups. And because I applied to these programs, which anybody can do and it's free, I now have a point person at all of these major tech companies. So if I ever run into a problem or I don't know what API I can use or what the right, if it's like Bedrock or like one of their tools, I have like a personal connection. So that's one thing if you're thinking about using external APIs from Google, Microsoft, or Amazon for things like storage buckets. That's like one little hack that I've figured out, I guess. Let's see. And Marla's a great resource. She has been vibe coding and launching and has a wealth of experience even before vibe coding came about and says that she said, I have a new client that will be the same setup. So maybe Demarcus reaching out to Marla, she's an amazing resource. Okay. Georgetta, that was fire. Oh, thank you. I don't even know what you're referring to, but thank you. Do we have any questions so far? Because I'm going to show you a brand new feature in Lovable, and then we are going to head over to our VIP session. Here at VC Inc., I'm doing live trainings every single week, but we also have sessions for our VIP members. It's a smaller group, so you get more one-on-one. This is a chance for you to talk through your issues, to share your screen, to talk about marketing strategies, to get work done in real time. So if you get stuck, you can bring your app to our VIP sessions and we get you unstuck. So, you know, I always kind of say our free community is where you build, and the VIP community is where you're like launching and selling. So it's not for everybody, but it's for those that are more serious about overcoming those roadblocks. So I'll go ahead and put that payment link if anybody's interested in upgrading to VIP. But I'm excited to tell you all that me, Nuno, Mario, Yvonne, and I, we're going to be throwing our vibe code challenge. And this is going to be our MVP challenge. I got to change the copy on the website because I want to call it the MVP challenge. Okay. And it's going to be, I think I have to update the date here, but we just settled on the date. It's going to be January 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay. Which is a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And this is where you're going to build your MVP. So the whole first day is about helping you scope out what that MVP scope is. All right. So that you're not getting in the position where you're overbuilding, you're adding all the features, honing in on a really solid app idea, building out just the MVP. And the goal, the way that you complete this challenge and get your certificate of completion is that you have to get one user on your app. That's it. One user. Because for you to get one user on your app means that you built a system from end to end. Okay. That's the focus in 2026. I want to see everybody build an app from end to end. On January 5th and 7th, it's going to be around this time. It's going to be an hour for the first, it'll be a kind of similar model where we'll have the free challenge and then VIP would be an extra hour and a half. So it's going to be from 12 to like 1:30. I'm sorry, to 2:30. So the first hour is going to be our general session, and then we'll have our VIP session. And then there'll be an optional session on Thursday for pitching. And part of what we're going to be practicing in VIP, and I will do a free version as well. I'm going to announce the dates, is pitching. All right. Everybody knows what pitching is. Like we've seen Shark Tank, right? It's kind of like, and it's not as pressure, like so much pressure, like I'm giving them this equity and this amount, but it is really important for you to be able to deliver a pitch that clearly defines what problem you're solving, hinting at why you are the one who's uniquely designed to solve this problem and what your solution is, and be able to demonstrate an end to end example of a demonstration. Okay. Um, oh, Mila, yeah, I'm at AI Bot Summit. I know that there's some overlap with AI Bot Summit happening in Orlando. I'm sorry that that's just the way that it happened, but don't worry, there's going to be other challenges in the future. This is just the first one. Okay. So no worries. Um, yes, Yamil, I will let you know. I really want to make it a monthly thing, but hey, I test stuff and then it just like I see what works, I see what doesn't work, and then I just trying to make it a turnkey solution. So I promise you there will be other challenges. This is the first one. It's our MVP challenge. And I'm getting all the frameworks. So you'll have, everything that you need to go from building the base prompt out to launching to debugging, all of that's going to be included. So the whole idea here is that we're going from end to end. Okay. Aaron said, would I need to move my projects from base 44 to Lovable to fully utilize VC Inc? No. If you've already built something in base 44, you can continue to use base 44. I just don't use base 44. So when I'm giving demonstrations, like you'll see that I'm going to be using Lovable. Right. So I'm not telling anybody what they have to use. But it's just like Lovable is where I have more influence per se. I'm an ambassador, so I like have direct connections to like their teams. I can get things turned around, I can get feedback, etc. So that's just the benefit there. Is the time scheduled yet, or will that come later? It'll be sent out today in the recap email, like the specific time. So I'm just working with assistants, but right now I think it's going to be around the same time. So instead of next week us doing this typical training, it's going to be our challenge training. All right. So that's why today I wanted to kind of give you the head start so you could think about what micro SaaS that you would want to build. Identify that unique problem that you're designed to solve, and do you want to build a tracker for it, a calculator for it? Hopefully you've gotten some inspiration to see what's possible, and then you'll be given all of the resources to build it out in real time and get it reviewed. Okay. Um, does manual edits use credits? Not from the visual editor and not from code mode. Okay, so visual editor, code mode, debugging, so any of the security fixes, or when you run into an error and it says try to fix and it gives you that option, when it gives you that option, it doesn't use credits. So those four things in Lovable do not use credits. Everything else does use credits. The credits vary depending on the prompt. If you do chat mode, it uses a base of 1 credit. Okay. That's how that works. Yamil said, thanks for sharing those lovable dev prompts by Lazar. Used it the first time today to create a website and the results were fire. Oh yeah, let me go ahead. And actually last Friday, I met with Lazar. We had like a one-on-one chat and everybody,
Yeah.
Lazar, he's the vibe code engineer at Lovable. He built these, and I just put it in the chat. It's a great resource. He built all of these GPTs that are trained specifically on Lovable documentation. The best one for getting started is this base prompt. Okay. So I took this idea of the what should I charge calculator and I put it in the base prompt and that built out the entire it built out, sorry, like my whole Chargewell website. Okay. Based that, and this was pretty much built off of just one prompt. And then, of course, I iterated and added the PDF and the upsell and all of that stuff. But Lazar's GPTs do a pretty good job. So I just posted that in the chat for you. Yes, Christine said we're all in love with Lazar's apps. He loved that. I was like, Lazar, you got a fan club over here. What's going on? Where are they? So, Francia, I just went ahead and I pasted that link. I made this landing page just so that that you could access them a little bit easier. It's lovable-gpts.lovable dot app. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Where will you be able to share the list of Google Docs with all the ideas listed? Yes, Carla. So that's going to be part of the challenge. So when you enroll in the challenge, you actually get all of those like specific like lists of the all of the resources that you need. And I'm figuring out the best way to not overwhelm y'all. So I'm always open to feedback to make sure that things stay organized. Okay. Because I know there's a lot of information, lots of resources, but I've honed in on like the top resources that you actually need to go from, again, end to end. That's the goal here. The link for the challenge, once again, is at challenge.vcinc.ai. Now, I see a hand from JoJo, and then we're going to transition into our VIP session. What's up, JoJo? Because I know
Thank
I'm
you.
going to see over
A
there.
a few people have asked me how to join VIP, and I do note that although it's on the website, it's not particularly prominent. So maybe you could kind of do a slight kind of redesign to make it more prominent and a little bit more explanation on what the benefits are. That would be great because not everybody's seeing it instantly.
No, thank you. That is wonderful feedback. And I got some feedback like that on my Facebook today. I have some partners in this, but I'm the main one teaching. So I'm going to pass that on. I haven't been pushing it as much, just keeping the group small, making sure I'm giving a whole lot of value and figuring out what all of the benefits are so that based off people's feedback. And that's what being here in VC Inc., one of the primary benefits is that you really get to shape the culture and the direction of this community and get your needs met. So I always want to be rooting it in real world, solving a real world issue, because that's the thing that I'm teaching y'all. And that's actually the principles that I'm applying as well. DeMarcus, I know you said definitely overwhelmed, but hey, just lock in with me. I'm proud of you. I appreciate you for hopping on my Facebook Live today before and then showing up. We're just going to keep it moving, right? And a lot of the accolades, like I don't have a computer science degree, right? I didn't like have the formal training, but I've been able to travel to 4 countries this year, teach over 1,000 people vibe coding, and I'm now an ambassador for 2 of the hottest tech startups in the world. Just because I showed up, I tried, I was willing to fail. I'm willing to do a demo on stage in front of hundreds of people and have it not work. I'm willing to go to El Salvador and give vibe coding like lessons in Spanish, even though I don't speak Spanish, and deal with 2 power outages in the middle of my presentation and keep it moving. And that's just like, that's what you have to do. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, but like, that's part of what I'm trying to just help you hone in on and teach. Okay. And so that's the vibe. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, Addie. That's my boy, Addie. We got to do a vibe code session in New York. Much love. Appreciate you. Thank you, Carrie. Love you, girl. Jojo. DeMarcus said, thanks for having me. Looking forward to learning more, deving our own system. Yes, works better for videography, photography, businesses. Absolutely. Miami, I was just there. Are you out there, Francia, in Miami? I hopefully will be back soon. I think maybe in January. Okay. I got asked, I might be doing some stuff with Lovable out there, but I will keep you updated. And VIP, that's at pay.vcinc AI. For anybody who wants to upgrade to VIP, I'm going to go ahead and hop over to our VIP session where we're going to get into your specific apps, troubleshoot, debug, share your screen, overcome any of the bugs in the app, and get it to market. So, thank you everybody for joining today's Vibe Code Incubator session on the 5 app categories, profitable ideas 101 on how you can build your micro SaaS and shrink that space from building the app to monetizing the app. We're trying to get that to like a 24-hour window. Okay. That's my goal for y'all in 2026. So appreciate you. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you again next week. But I will also be sending out the recap of this video of this call after. So talk to you later. Thanks again.